Okay, another 0 mana card, and now for the priest class. Forbidden Shaping. Spend all your mana, summon a random minion that costs that much. So why will be spending all your mana for a random minion be better than just playing a minion that is more consistent? Priest has also no way of doing much with, like, it's the only thing I can really think of is Pyromancer, and you gain like and you play like this card for 1 mana, and you get the battle cry of Pyromancer, and then you gain a 1-drop. But there's also like no way that Priest will go Miracle Way, so that you can play all your cheap spells. Priest has a lot of cheap spells. I mean, this card is better than the Mage one, because it's at least reasonable. It's really flexible. If you think of it, we need something in the early game, we play it at turn 2. We get a 2-drop. We play it at turn 8 because we are empty in hand. We have an 8-drop. So the concept of this card is really flexible. Way more flexible than the Mage card. So it's reasonable. You have some synergy with the Priest, with the Pyro. It's gonna be hard to make this card work. You don't want to play a card that gives you a random minion. You normally lose getting a random minion. You normally lose around half a mana, 1 mana, depending on what turn you play it. At turn 2 you cannot lose that much, but if you play it at turn 4, turn 5, you normally lose at least 1 mana for playing the card. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to work it out. Card is flexible, better card in general than the Mage one. You can use it all the time. It's gonna be hard to make this one work. I think it's gonna be too weak, but it's a cool one. This is a card I might be so totally surprised on, because Priest needs some flexible cards. Priest is sometimes so reactive that flexible cards might work, but I will let that over to the Priest experts. Okay, and here we have the Giant Worm, the Giant Sandworm. 8 mana, 8/8. Whenever this minion kills another minion, it may attack again. So you can compare it to the Worgen, where if you are killing or the Worgen was damaging, but when you kill when this minion kills a minion, it may attack again. So you gain a Wind Fury. Well, the problem with 8 mana cards is if they don't have like direct thing on board, if they don't have like a direct battle cry, they are just super slow. But like, we play this card, nothing happens, he has another turn, and then we are again, hoping that our minion is still on board, and then we might get a Wind Fury. Cool. Another problem with this card is it's a Hunter card. Hunter has a way faster concept than an 8 mana, than wanting to play an 8 mana 8/8. Like, I will play Gazrilla all the time over this one. Gazrilla is not a BGH target. It's 1 mana cheaper, or you can like kill command your own Gazrilla and you gain already like double the attack. You have the Bestial Wrath that has at least good synergy with it. But I don't know. This is not like in Hunter, and also this is a big thing in the new expansion. Big Game Hunter is such a pain. I really thought already about it a lot. I also gave my feedback on Blizzard about it. Like, BGH is a really bad concept at the moment for Hearthstone. Like, we all love BGH against Boom, but that is just because Boom is too powerful. Boom is too powerful for his cost in the game, and that is why people might still consider BGH being a good card, reasonable card. But BGH covers so much of the cool cards that are 7+ mana that can all be reasonable in decks or can be played in decks. But because there is BGH being popular in the meta, and because it's such a good card, it's such a swingy card, and that is the problem. It's not because it's a good card, it's a super swing card. And I really hope that BGH will be either removed from the game or totally gain another concept, because BGH is not good for the game. It's really not good for the game. So I think Blizzard will notice that too, and I hope there will be happening something to BGH. But besides that, even considering BGH not being popular in some sort of way, we have to compare it like to Ragnaros, that has like an 8, it has same stats, 8 mana 8/8, and doesn't direct thing on the board. I like the card concept, but yeah, in Arena it might be more reasonable than in Constructed, but in Constructed it's just gonna be too weak. You need to make it in mid-range Hunter. Gasrilla, but doesn't have any space in the deck already, is just more powerful. Even Ragnaros I still consider more powerful, not gonna work. Okay, and we have the Hogger here. And the Corrupted Hogger. So where we first had the Hogger that was a 6 mana 4/4. This one is a 7 mana 6/6. So for a 7 mana, a bit weak in stats. But whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/2 null with a taunt. And the first card we can compare this with is the Troxar. Troxar, also being a 7 mana 6/6, says whenever a spell is being played, you gain a 3/5 Troc. I was really wrong on this card. I was actually saying this one. I thought Troxar was will be one of the best cards out of the set. Came out that it was never really being played. One of the problems was Dr. Boom being the really dominant 7-drop. Other problem was maybe that it was just a bit too slow. So I actually like this card. I actually think again this card is good. Not really good, but good. Problem is just that it can be traded away really easily. But if you get already 1 proc, or if it takes 1 damage from a minion or from a spell, however, you gain +2/+2. So if we gain 1 2/2 taunt, it's a 7 mana 8/8. Still a bit weak, not worth playing. If you gain 2 summon 2 taunts, then it's good. And taunt is really strong. Like the taunt, the null is maybe not worth 2 mana, but almost worth 2 mana. And we are losing around 2 mana stats. Nah, not 2, a bit less. 1.5. With the 7 mana 6/6. It's a bit weak. Stats wise. It's a bit slow. Oh, can this card work? You need at least 2 procs and then it has really good stats. It's gonna be a bit slow. It's gonna be a card really weak to AoE. In what deck would you play this? Like, the good thing is, the problem why Troxar was, like, the bigger problem was, there was always Boom. So if we compare it to Troxar, in what deck will we play it? What if you play it in Druid and you innervate it out earlier? Like, you want to get this card earlier than turn 7. But, yeah, it's hard for me to guess. I was so wrong on Troxar. I thought that card was pretty good. It turned out just being too slow, and I think that's the biggest concern of this card again. It's just too slow. The card is good. Or it's good enough to make decks working, to get a spot in the decks, but it might be too slow. It's gonna be a really good arena card, by the way. I think it can be a really good arena card. Okay, and here we have another Khatoon card. We have the Weaver, 4 mana 4/5. If your Khatoon has at least 10 attack, gain +5 health. So here another Khatoon Guard, and this is actually a really good Khatoon card, I think. But I think Blizz is like giving every class one really good Khatoon card to make Khatoon not being like broken overall, and also having the flexibility of Khatoon decks that if you play a Druid Khatoon deck, you have it's a bit different than a Khatoon Warrior deck. It's a 4 mana 4/5, so stats wise already really good. Stats wise it's already worth the mana. You can play in 4 mana 4/5 pretty reasonably. It's not that you see Yeti a lot, but that's because Shredder is just broken. And Shredder is, if you look at if Shredder won't be played, or wasn't in Hearthstone, there were a lot of 4 mana cards that were all reasonable. You might see, like, you will see Teachers, you will see Senjin, you will see Yetis, and the Weaver is then a card that is already worth the mana. So, that's already a really important thing, that this card, without the Khatoon effect, it's already good. But, if you get the Khatoon effect off, it's actually a Twilight Drake, that even is weaker to silence, so... you have a 4 mana 4/5 that can be a 4 mana 4/10, and that is just insane, guys. That is insane. This card is a super good Khatoon card, the best Khatoon card being out yet, and this one is one I can just say really clearly. It's a really good Khatoon card. Yeah, but if we get more cards like this, Khatoon might really work. So it's just a really good card. Of course, we are only gonna see it in Khatoon decks. But yeah, 4 mana 4/5. What can go wrong, guys? What can go wrong? Maybe if we are having if we don't have the 10 attack on our Khatoon yet, we only need normally you only need 2 cards to make a 10 attack Khatoon. Yeah, it's already pretty good. Okay, and here we have the evil version of the Loot Hoarder, the Hoarder. Death Rattle drawn card. So where the Loot Hoarder is in 2 mana 2/1, this is on 4 mana 4/2, same concept, Death Rattle drawn card. This is worse than Loot Hoarder. The reason why Loot Hoarder is being played is because it's an early drop. The decks that want to cycle, the decks that are more combo relying or late game relying, play Loot Hoarder, and they wanna draw early and have some early minions. So Loot Hoarder really fits these decks. It's an early drop, trades a bit with the board, and it draws a card. This one instead is not a good early drop, and yes, it draws a card, but this card is not really good. If the first comparison that comes in my mind is the Nomish Inventor, 2 mana 2/4, a drawn card, immediately. Battlecry drawn card, not Death Rattle. So Battlecry draw card is of course better than Death Rattle draw card. Might not matter that much in all situations. But the concept of Battlecry, you get the first so you can make your decisions better. It is a better card than this Hoarder. You also want the defensive stats of the Nomish Inventor are also better, because you want to play these cards in the combo more defensive decks. You're not gonna play an offensive deck or a fast deck and you play a 4 mana 4/2 with a Death Rattle drawn card. So yeah, this card is bad. You won't see it neither in Constructed, neither in Arena. It's gonna be a weak card. It's just weaker than Nomish Inventor. It's not an early drop. It has not any synergy with other stuff. So I think this card will not be working. And then we have here the 5 mana Stand Against Darkness. The 5 mana Muster of Battle, guys. Without Light Justice. Summon 5/1/1 Silver Hand Recruits. Well, I was thinking of this card. And yeah, this is, I mean, Muster of Battle was really powerful. It was on 3 mana, summon 3 1/1s, and gain Light Justice. This card, you pay 2 mana more, and for the 2 mana you pay more. You gain 2 Silver Hand Recruits more, but you lose your Light Justice. This card is so much, yeah, it's way worse than Light Justice. Like, it's somehow better than Dark Whispers, because you pay 6 mana, it's 1 mana cheaper, but it's still not good enough. It's so weak to AoE. Like, just deal 1. You play this card. Like, the problem with Muster of Battle already is they swipe next turn, they Blade Fury, they Fan of Knives, they Whirlwind. They have, like, there are always answers against these cards, and you don't want to play a 5 mana 5/1/1s. Also, Quartermaster being gone out of the standard makes it worse. Yeah, this is this card is it's just, I don't even think I will play this card for 4 mana. 4 mana 5/1/1s. Like, somehow it's good to get like tokens, because with tokens you have the ability of trading the best way on the board. But it's just so weak into AoE if you cannot really buff it immediately. The thing with the 3 mana Muster of Battle was it was way cheaper, so there was not a big bad effect that could happen. This card is just gonna be too slow. It's not good enough for his cost. Twilight Elder. So we have another Khatoon card here. At the end of your turn, give your Khatoon +1/+1 whenever it is. So this is a Khatoon card that can really keep stacking if you don't kill it. So it doesn't say taunt, but you can see this as a 3 mana 3/4 taunt. That's how I see it. And 3 mana 3/4 taunt is pretty good. That is like the same as the monkey that we have in the warrior, 3 mana 3/4 taunt. And that's just a really reasonable card. The reason why it is not being played in warrior is because warrior is so late game related. But it is a good card. And this one is also an good card. Better than, yeah, same as Spider Tank a bit, but Spider Tank is not really. Yeah, I think this card is, again, like, you only will see this in Khatoon decks, and it is an okay card, and okay cards can work in Khatoon decks. If we fit all the okay cards in, we have an okay deck, but if we have like 1 or 2 insane Khatoon cards, it might be just really good. And this is the same, it's an early drop, you're gonna get into your Khatoon gets stronger, it's an early drop for you to gain into the later game. So yeah, I think this card is, again, it's all a bit the same with the Khatoon cards. But this card is, again, really fine. Oh, and here we have the Valiant Doomsayer, the evil, corrupted version of the Doomsayer. 5 mana, 0/7. At the start of your turn, set this minion attack to 7 attack. So there is like a cool thing that at the start of your turn, you can like, it's not a BGH star yet, but 5 mana 7/7 is okay, it's good. But I mean, the problem is, you play this card, your opponent has the ability, it's slow because it has no battle cry, so you are not doing anything on your opponent's part. The problem is, you play this card and your opponent can already deal 3 or 4 damage into this minion. And then it's like in 7/4 or in 7/3, or he just kills it off. It might be like, this card I can totally be wrong about, because I see this card as not good enough. But this card is also like just not. It's like if you play it at turn 5, you just drop it at turn 5. Then your opponent has to deal with it. Otherwise, it's a 5 mana 7/7 without any negative effect. The only problem is that if the attack and health gets swept, then it is like it just dies immediately. But I mean, we are not really seeing Grace Alchemix. We have the spare parts, but yeah, that's not a big thing. So I can see this card being okay. You can play this in the like, this is a card you play in the more fast decks, the mid-range decks. You play it, like, innovate this out at turn 3. That's gonna be a problem, guys. That is gonna be a problem. But also from the other side, how consistent is it? It can be a good card in good situations, but is it gonna be consistent overall? It's gonna be hard to make this card work, I think, still. It's gonna be hard. Like, there are just some problems. Like, also, this card isn't target of Cabal, Shattered Pain. If your opponent Cabals this card, man, you are just crying. You are just crying. But yeah, might work. We'll see.